Right, yeah, we mo be akwa about the about sports arena. So yeah, tena say you be share yeah go the nsem the weekend games, you know. You be review games, you know, na who the corner the eba. I'm telling you that now no I feel na title charge, you know. Road na clear is and say international break be any baby just said the moi to next year e wo no menti. Say no o pesa wo jele na by this time and I was so there. Oh yeah. On what day now to me at the edge. You be other lakes in the world, and as the 5 selected European lakes, you be room. Now you discuss it 1 or 2 things. Now, only say better me di about me call cash out. What I say? Not me di 3,006, and I'm a J 3,002. Because now me trying Villarreal, now come on win or draw, and I was sure 1 year take the second half the way omo bono and ayi for no se suna for no dey buy Moriki was a Morigi no Albanian no and ono Kosovo omo dey buy man am yem shim na me no ma men cash out na DJ your bed builder and I just say ono akose basa second half most goals dudu na beba game no second half na beba pa teachers e bibia asset there's a 5-6 options or 5 and be biabo and no pet but I share 2 first half no share 2 second half na ko even and I say DJ the when you bet better 36 dino I'm telling you with the bet brutal to and family member Mr. was a friend no say no ka crazy and say with the my bet for a friend you be chop bet pa dia my bet and na obetumi atwa na afi bibia so etumi ade akoye honum akọ blue mineral water ha ni sisi table ne so na nyezo makachi o se Ghana say no galamsey no aseye nsuo nyina enti sese nsuo papa ye crafree UK mountain so a emote kama akọ blue mineral water baby abeko bia kase opa akọ blue na waji se na be ya unkonya yare basa kidney problems ne typhoid no nsuo papa se ne no ntina won se yen no the bia yeba no bia nka so yare ma o masho no the bia ba because ye tiapo nyasem keto akra tinum akwa blue mineral water ye be ransem ni mu hey otimu se AC Milan last 4 games ochi Inter Milan bia no ahye no na ohwe 2 teams na Inter Milan wo better players than AC Milan so de bia na AC Milan ahye no no Real Madrid drop a point Barca ehye Atletico Bilbao after almost return to the Spotify Camp Nou no nyasem keto akra ho no ma chese enye fedi agro ho na ukopie mo English Premier League Liverpool omo are hosam no gusu ayekoso omo tena fi ma Nottingham Forest be born kanamba kumakumiensa Sean Dyche obeka ya ono na de Burnley Satama na Anfield fortress no bia ntumi nhye Georgian Klopp no sa ma no eba be shom one or the bands no eba shom 1-0 bi ma ene wasa akwa bom 3 Liverpool ntumi anhye ba akokra wo no now baby adu no what is the issue, what is the problem? Because every player is fit wo team ni mu big players ni nyina wo almost first choice goalkeeper are returning yet the results hasn't changed. What is expected from a Liverpool penny for sale somewhere the year pressure na started mount and slot so nyasem keto akra honum Chelsea so called Burnley early kick off nyasem keto akra otimi say yes Pedro Neto and Branta FN Enzo Fernandez and chese omo dey ebo goals ma na North London derby ni dey say na beans esan say one team le win sa bra o hwe Thomas Frank adi bi obeye ya na asefem Arsenal for share 4 ama Tottenham Hotspur etimu ba ko ho no ma ene mi no ka say Newcastle so trafie ama Man City ekoji na ni so ti games no de edoso pa ye be rewura ni nyina mu ye wi anafi ya ba be hwe the Champions League, you know. It was a for Mama Kwaba.
Yeah, list to
yeah, Bibia come there.
Bibia come.
Young Shaman better education, kakra. Young Shaman better education. And the matches for her.
Yes.
And the matches for her. I nyasem ketwa. Man United better than they will not lose. I can tell you, say they will not lose this match. Man United will not lose this match. Inti opese okotwa. Ena okọ Syria matches so bekoso. Como en lose to Torino. Sassuolo ni Pisa no. Goals beba honum nti kakra ya akra no na Asia Champions League ne so ekoso Al-Ahly Saudi for ne betra fi abo omo so mehye e na Al Ittihad for no so be kwa away ti ono so betuma ma na we go nti no games wo ho na yenwra mu kakra na afi amanfo so kakra mo pese omo twadi no na omo so matumi twadi yenti we
yeah list to say yeah share enedia ene Monday my bet.africa for say Black Friday raindrops and the air course on my platform so see I can say raindrops some person say ne ubora on my casino ho era aviator ho omo che free bet
wow
free bet into free ene air kwa ni 2 weeks mu eno na my bet.africa de ma o into say on try my aviator ni ba see register na ko ho ade say o ya won so betimi atwa bi ne say at least we run my platform no ma aviator ni twa 10 cedi and above now what at least 40 to 50 cedis ewo account mu eno an no be hu say aviator na ebo na raindrops na ba 10 cd 20 cd 100 cd na eflu eno an so click so na won so wetimi add to account na bibia betimi akoyi nti we mindbet.africa sia www.mindbet.africa ewo browser no ura mu a top right corner be hu icon bi aseko ni green mi aso a be hu register any login unya register ya mi register ne so I registered down so I betimi akọ login na afi de wato bo ase atwen me nche okwan betimi afa so awon so free raindrops you so betimi enye bi ewo muntu register no 3 simple steps. The first one your phone number. The phone number the your mobile money transaction so bo shemu a na afi de wakọ the next one username enu betimi ayo nickname mu fie din bi apesa o de she ho no na on so abo ashem na afi de password confirm password any password ne ade ba ko into bo password na no abo the same thing as she confirm password so na bo register no so oba my bet for be send verification code now they verify your account now if they also about become my bet ebusu and any room casino or aviator almost say aviator no omo my raindrops so nim say na raindrops ensu oto a say na raindrops ne banketing bebre the obetimi a china on so watch bi into no we aviator ho ye deposit of 50 Ghana cedis to account musisia register we a deposit of 50 Ghana cedis we aviator ho na at least use 10 cedi fetwa aviator ni bi utwewe ya bon say raindrops na ba free bet ni name 100 cedis 20 cedis 30 cedis 50 cedis and name anu an say ochi bia na ba be count sika na afi de won so di twa aviator nti free ne ekopem busu na wie ye edi wura December mu kakra my bet say ade omo de chain nti be ka omo busu an ho na won so timi cash out if you am free raindrops a omo de my free ne Monday ekọ so
right into borrow mun tata quickly na kopeska is as we as uniska utiti se udwanti uniska utiti se 3060 anyasam keto akwa nti kona kopeska if a go boto na bibia anye de enkoye ho na niti no aye no ato the fighter tini bi na 36 anya
rasta for na ngazanga sa skabo mu ho no mo chiro muti no nti untum se odi
time bet no on the time
bubu bi no aje bi ku anim ho na on se virus a chichire den is a rasta for me no hu se omon tan chichire muti na all of a sudden o match chichire muti especially on a Monday yesterday week for means that
ska one
yes o
match weekend nikaka beto
see I was say makwashe boys no ya alert no mo ji kakra di fi no
that says what do you know no bit my fabricated story
mumrenra
okay they starting free the Milan derby I call so that is in dry and I think
derby della Madolina
o share this fixture AC Milan say uniform kra na enye Inter Milan o ibo bon homode make sure say kwan bia so no obetimi ayeden abo ne homode etimi a make sure say bibia etimi ayeden akoyi but one thing ni say indra o hwe fixture na player otimi dan hu edi Mike Minier make sure say sa penalty crucial one obetimi ama bibia etimi akoyi no ndro no etimi nya man of the match performance wise otimi say yes wotimi improve we hu say enei say France betimi abo no modern on the World Cup ejina ne so we hu de Hugo Luis Mbappe ye te enei so onu so timi di team nenim with the performance etimi koye. And I think say yebebo Max Allegri abaso. Ope one of the most experienced coaches in the Serie A or no.
Yeah.
Yenim league in J. And AC Milan the second on the league log. AS Roma that first.
Okay.
That shows the performance waiting me that. Yenim said last season na AC Milan shown by this time and almost that 8. But anyway waiting the by second. A chair improvement waiting me even with 1 or 2 additions they are not big names. I name so meeting me about baby big but the likes of Modric, the likes of Christopher Nkunku, meeting me about Boamene. A 1-0 victory was a good result for them. And Ocean League log now it's just 2 points between on any AS Roma. You know him say AS Roma, they are also grinding results here and there. You know, I think this season we'll get a Serie A title race. A bit me 4 teams fighting for the league title. AS Roma, Inter Milan, AC Milan, and Napoli defending champions. So no so beti me abon home day. Yambora England na Saturday anopa na Enzo Maresca na Mbranti and ko na o share record wise ube say this is a game kwan bia so say Chelsea team win because we Liverpool we winning 9 times or Burnley home. The next team we team pick results or Burnley home Chelsea. And it was a game Chelsea and started game ni and I like the way Scott Parker set up the team no. Or stop it Chelsea from using the middle of the pitch because when you said the likes of Enzo Fernandez, Andre Santos mo because on back will receive ball no. And they so to stop here now they need to use the wings. They need to play long. That route one type of football. To share the first minute 2 minutes like 20-30 more. Because na Chelsea team me pa na boy. They were finding it very difficult to get balls into the final third. And I think say playing against a big team, playing against these big horses in the Premier League, you know, when team and take you chances they will come back and win the game. And when they have Burnley because they have clear chances. It took the brilliance of Andre Santos with 2 blocks. Any the likes of Chaluba, any Tosin with blocks to get a chance. And they Burnley for team and take the chances of Munyai. But in the first half, in the second half, Chelsea team be say yes. The chances now they will convert. And I think Pedro Neto 2 games in a row ni with Timia Bogo. So Timu said he's trying to play a big figure in this Enzo Maresca setup.
Yeah.
When he said the likes of Fuller and Esteva Amudinechi, they would want to come into the team. And they also goes now. Obama that energy tracking back to defend any Nyama Bebra, the likes of Esteva Amuni Gittins, Muntimi Farmhouse is here. And that is one thing Otimi born home or making sure say obetimi abo erim. The other game I here Manchester City Newcastle and here in the Premier League the boogie team otimi ha Man City yepa in Newcastle. Upe team obetimi aso City kon City top 4 mumpo no timi mia ne kon Newcastle. And the match being played at St James Park was one fixture a year important Emma Newcastle. This is the second time at St James Park ometimi ama Erling Haaland ntimi anshegu. And who the caliber of Erling Haaland goes or chef for fun on 2 occasions visiting them in Timmy and Shigua. It shows the defensive strength of Team FN in Newcastle. The way almost set up time in the Premier League. Upe the most notorious, the most difficult way center meter untimi beat you my Newcastle. Jolente mo omeni adin omaso adin bono omuno be boss ne yesa oni ombobia. And I think say yebebo edi ha so. Because coming into this season, no be him say Alexander Isak equally, team ni humbechirom. They'll find it difficult to grind results. They'll find it difficult to play against some of the big clubs. But with me say in games like this, here Alexander Isak, they will get the results wherever they need to get it. Getting a 2-1, not all time in bed Africa for the man Newcastle. Even Newcastle to score. And no better me try on my bed Africa. 1.50. It is a mitiminya GDA to me call Newcastle some 2 goals in Kamenam 2-3 or that shows the performance at Newcastle etimidanidi. Liverpool and Nottingham Forest. Say last season, share this Nottingham Forest side against Liverpool. Pick 4 points from Liverpool, the league winners. And going into the game, coach Ababedi Nottingham Forest no. Coach Utimi Liverpool Anfield there no. So everything was playing out. Say Liverpool may not get a win in this game. Me who line up no, I was very, very surprised. I didn't make a sign say with the person leading the line, Alexander Isak, of course, Sweden, one game mom. And the reason was not based on form. The reason was based on say, so about any of the games, so pick a yellow card and you miss their playoffs. In the moment, me and one game. So he was rested for 2 games. Hugo Ekitike being the other striking partner, no, played for France. Go.
Yeah.
So coming from the international break, a player or did that momentum neighbor. Hugo Ekitike is ahead of Alexander Isak. Alexander Isak, the other time, I said, oh, he has 3 to 4 months. After no born the preseason, it will take him time to be able to hit the grounds running. Now you go into a game, a team or share. Now, oh yeah, okay, me for Isak in Kotum because me feel so bit me aboboa. Then I think that there's a problem with Coach Efrain Slot. One thing that maybe Liverpool fans and if the Premier League fans need be bringing him say Slot coming to Liverpool. The Juma with Liverpool yeah, as a head coach or yeah manager. So his main role in the team, they say, and he trains the players and make sure say Bibia beti me and put up a good performance. So he will talk to the medical team. Player we want international break when you be ambo. The training schedule saying ne obai ne movement you beti me na start game. You beti me na say then you take the final decision. So from afar no. We hear these 2 players about minutes for the national team. Even those who went to me and started most of them games, but ultimately go or the confidence neighbor. So you start Ekitike ahead. There may be in the second half who the Isak aba. And this is something now. When you look here, the way he's putting Isak into games anyhow, no, or slowly progress in getting to that level. Like him say Isak beat me, no, because any other doubt in I didn't think I bought Liverpool game. Me finding it difficult to even convert a shot on target, to even maybe do something on a normal day. Newcastle no air for fun, but my infa winning free way. So Coach Efrain Sean Dyche. So coming into this Nottingham Forest team, my friend on several occasions now Premier League or Bahobeche, who say most of the coaches need the basics wrong, and the time be no about Ruben Amorim. So on the Man U team the manner. Obetimi asesa nyama within a few times. And Wadane decide yes in the Premier League, Obetimi aye. With the Nottingham Forest team, the likes of Angie Mutimi Befa Omentimi Anyehwe no. Now he's doing great things with the team. Oba in the first game, Otimi be share Porto. A team no lose any game this season. So I think that Sean Dyche going into the game knowing said this Liverpool team Obetimi asho Mutimi ball and home or the 18 ball. Yeah, share the London Derby, Arsenal against Tottenham Hotspur. Listen to me who line up me shame. I didn't tell me shame and they say Thomas Frank or Brentford near Gigi so oh he's a tactician unim game so but I think say Thomas Frank were born fucking. There are 3 games I bought this season. Those 3 games two teams coach are born teams were born. I didn't tell me because against Chelsea and then the first game Chelsea average Tottenham to a 0.01 expected goals. And that is the worst in Premier League history. I didn't tell make us were born. This is a team, this is the only team in the Premier League all 4 available strikers. Me who be that in the past 3 seasons. Say team be 4 strikers. And you say be academy players can who 4 quality strikers. Kolomwani, Richarlison, Solanke. Muni na wo. And still, Untimi put up a lineup against any team. Against Chelsea, basic mistakes. And one thing I mean what Thomas Frank will say, every time during the game, who mistake now, he wants to correct it at halftime, which is totally wrong. Team Ukoshia Manchester City, Obesha 4 at that time, Obesha 4 5 before Ubetimi Akwako correct it. Against Chelsea, you know, say Cucurella was marking Kudus too much. You should have moved Kudus into the middle of the pitch very early in the game. Ochenya Inyama Jiguyen against Man United. You are finding it difficult to progress a ball against Man United. Inka the likes of Sesco Empra and Man United they bought 10 against 11 and ka untimi nye go. 11 against 11. 11 against we untimi nye go. And against Arsenal limitium to a 0.07 expected goals. And that is the second worst in Premier League record. You don't go into a game against Arsenal. Unim say boss striker. Then you are going with a 3-back. Unim say Dansu is your weakest link in your 3-back system. Ushe Arsenal team now play obey in behind runs Trossard.
Yeah.
Against Danso or Nuntimi Maki. The goals are almost considered against Arsenal. Between Danso and Spence, no be any the market Trossard. So Merino dropping no G ball ni two no be any the oil park. So
now I'm go away. I think is it the 4th goal?
yes.
Nipa 3. And who be that? Omo nyina Trossard so.
And I was surprised as
and a space at the hole.
Nipa nan who yam one Van der Ven because Romero Spence market Trossard into one center back.
I was say no mo nyina 3 ni nyina akọ. To ma pass ne fa mu na aye empty net.
Now we Udogi so be sin.
Say no react and I don't blame him. He was reacting to when we say say the other players needing kwasam. Inti I was say obesi situation. And oba attacker no at that stage onim say dia ka ye wo na wo ba no because 3 ni nyina wa yo mu nyina we useless. And me kwa player no ball ne da ni weaker foot so. Ball ne da ni weaker foot so one player na also mark no. Only one na was ko ne ko. Not 3 players mu nyina mo di nachi. I'm just one pass and it's our ball no. I started fit throwing.
Yes.
When we were watching the ball. Oma na me ni omo hwe ball ni asa Spence on to ball ne ma I think it was a Kudus or something. On to ball ne ma attacker no to ba chiri. O to ba chiri na keeper ne ball long. O ball long na Arsenal head the ball no. At the buy at this go near the buy. Because that time na any go bi anka be back from Spurs who bi ano. Na anka be taking the game to the different way. So the only thing an aspect for also mo yense no inikwa so mo consider bi. And look, omo players to be honest, be brain and deserve also more Spurs. Na yenhwe sa player omo de ne ba de na Chelsea ko fa oba oy.
Javi Simons. So no
man
no see Chelsea am friend in them. Ntino omo mo friend no ko and I think say me who Chelsea fans be bria no mo bo Chelsea fo echi se nke so mo ko fa no and I think say
e bi anko ba Chelsea ka performance no
e betimi asesa. Okay.
But your Spurs one.
But I think say Thomas and I feel say Thomas Frank adentia make us say onya de ma me say you have wingers who are very good on the ball. I don't know why up to now Brennan Johnson is still starting from the bench. We should Spurs team numa. He's the only winger who can give a lot of goals.
Direct.
Yes. Mohamed Kudus bet me ama goals, but goals are Johnson bet me ama no. Mohamed Kudus in team mouse. Kudus be ma that ball control no that assist no. And still obey another winger no the Kolomwani mumbe ball wings. And I find it I don't understand.
And the midfield partnership on the crown hey. And better enko
or say ball no.
But you be finishing ball a wo ball so. Obi enim say as a player you know say player if you wait ba obe pick angle so o ko see how do be ko see o ko straight na player na be ball. Akoyasa.
And I think say one thing me who 2 lineups no. Who 2 lineups the only thing about my team say game we is a game. And I tweeted that say game we is a game because Merino wouldn't stay say any 3 back and we marking he will drop here Eze is too flexible to now finding spaces. So and he was just Eze was just enjoying the game. Nka Eze bet me set a record by scoring 5 goals in a game. And yet Vicario team save you 2 balls and Ushe Arsenal team now Eze's inclusion is one of the exciting inclusions of my this season.
Okay.
Because Odegaard the mom that flair no. Odegaard the mom that creativity up front even though he's very good on the ball.
And I say Odegaard I say no Wechiru.
Yes.
As number 10 but Oshe Eze
he's always
around the box. But Odegaard all the time I say center line aside when him kakra bi. I find it difficult to see him operating in between strikers defenders anymore as zone 14 one but Eze no all the time he's around that area.
Yes, and I think say it was a game say I'm kind it was a game Eze needed to prove Spurs wrong. Say nee
I said no
yes. And I think one thing after the game the comment and then question say okay time Eze call Arsenal no you beside Thomas Frank say nam go to Eze no kwa so beside say why na Eze and I think say it was a big statement And you see his name on the scoreboard. Say, this is a very easy. And I think this game, it goes back to that tweet easy. And every time he wears the Arsenal jersey, I remember that tweet. Namaka said, this is one of the most powerful tweets by a player.
Yeah.
He was on the verge of not playing football again because of Adesi Arsenal. And he said, say, they would one day show this tweet because he would come and make it.
Yeah.
And he has come and made it. And they in 32 not landing derbies. Tottenham may win one. Tawa no win it was 15 years back. I'm waiting.
Yeah. So
the not landing derby need about Arsenal.
Okay, so does this win cement Arsenal title we said no. But this only because your victory be unya. You could be who said and I said Team Nankasa will know say okay. Now we are winning the league. Or is it still early days yet?
To me, I think it's too early. At the Inter-Makers, I'll use Aston Villa as an example. You start this season, about 3 games will lose, about 7 games without no scoring a goal. And the Aston Villa that fought on the league log. Okay. That shows how the points gap between the teams. So with any lapses, you'd find yourself in a position of winning. Okay. And then going into the international break, even before Liverpool beat Manchester City, now Liverpool we were top 4. We were getting their fans say, oh, yeah, boy, but we are there. And they or the 9th. That shows the gap between the teams.
And only up to Chelsea.
Yes.
And a gap. But as Arsenal
and Chelsea is just 6 points as of now.
Okay.
And Arsenal next game against Chelsea. And I would say that game against Chelsea would be maybe a 50% title decider for Arsenal.
Okay, getting that to be that 9
3 points. Yes, about 9 points. Now the likes of City, him says Opobia obetimi the pressure to attack is Manchester City. Opobi obetimi how is Manchester City. Now
Chelsea can do that.
I think Chelsea has the manager to do that, but Chelsea doesn't have the players to do that. Where Chelsea against Burnley, it showed clearly.
Say coaching.
Need players, because Chelsea against Burnley, the game should have ended by 5-0. Yeah. Dilap now 2 chances. And your name City under Pep Guardiola still more time. Bernardo Silva bet me na ball pull nano. But okay, the possibility me to say no best square no be ashe. Let's get the 3 points anyway here.
Okay, so you are saying it's the next week game, no?
Yes, we'll decide if
picture.
Arsenal has a 50% chance of winning the league. But I think the gap is still close for most of the teams to come up.
Okay. Vincent, starting free baby we want. Is Chelsea a title contender?
Of course, definitely. Chelsea a title contenders. Currently,
can Chelsea sustain the victories? They can be consistent enough to at least 6-7 games without a defeat.
Yeah. You see, Listo, if you look at this Chelsea team, winning 6 games consecutive is not something that Omunye be that. Last season, they did it. Omunye be top first. Emma Pandek team had the pressure here. Ebo Muzuba easy listo. If you follow Premier League nature, if you want to win the league, from December going,
okay.
Every December, you rental transfer in February. So from November, December, January, February, that is when we know who is going to win the league. If watch a City leagues or Maji in the last 10 years, we've had that 5 trophies or Maji. Listo. City, what they do is, so okay, Pep Guardiola, the interviewer, the pre-match interview about say that is the City is coming to start the season now. No international break from now until March.
Okay, so and
you see, City that has been what they've been doing.
Their trademark.
Their starting season now. Who are top 3. But right after you do November ending to December, that is when they start stacking up the points. Now you see, I looked at this Chelsea game. Listo. It was a game that when I watched the first 30 minutes, I was like, Charlie, I'm sure another Sunderland Brentford game. You see, it has been obvious that Chelsea struggle against teams Omobo low blocker, sometimes counter attacking. You see, Scott Park and Listo are very intelligent. There is one thing we noticed from Burnley for him. They were approaching the game. They approached the game according to Chelsea weakness. Ubo low block or mobre. Yambo low block. Let's have a lot of men in defense and also in midfield. Now, Yajibo na quickly. Let's have runners. Young cross the ball. They did a lot of crosses, especially in the first 30 minutes. Ning now call back post. Because Chelsea, I clear if their defending centerpiece is any crosses are a man of the nearest post that they are very good, but the far post, it is very hard for them to defend. So, Listo, from what I watched against Burnley, you see, these are the games I am never cracking that if you want to win the league, these are the games that you have to win. We've been talking about Arsenal winning games. We don't care if Arsenal winning by 4 goals or 3 goals or always Arsenal share teams like Nottingham Forest, teams like Burnley, teams like Sunderland, Brentford. They make sure say they will win and they won't concede goal. And that is what Chelsea did over the weekend. To me, how we played against Burnley, a big test. Now I can confidently say, despite the fact that me a Chelsea fan, if you look at how Chelsea went from last season, Nicolas Jackson and red card is a Chelsea and qualify Jackson. To that point, Chelsea they lack some experience.
Okay.
Chelsea team lack experience. Last season, one of winning games, Chelsea 6 game streak now. They've been doing it. In fact, this season, they've been doing it. Yeah, winning games. Chelsea winning games to us for 14, 13 games. No more lose here. But when they got to the top, their pressure started by a coach, and so no person only pressure and free boys. That was when games are no because young for the lap because Chelsea shutting some low blocker. In the Premier League, you will face a lot. Say Liverpool, and Arsenal, then Manchester City. Then probably Brighton or GDs or don't know or a smaller club, but they'll shower or baby no about team in the Premier League no low block. Look at Spurs. I won't share Chelsea. Or my team create chances. Or more defend it from minute 1 to minute 90. So if you have ways and means, some money man can say, oh, you could have scored 4 goals, but at least it is something that it happens. In a team, over say chances. But for you, the moment over say chances are opponents. Look at the first half. Now, as a Chelsea Boshe, Burnley, Chelsea were dominating in terms of passes, but Burnley press, how they were creating chances, attacking us. As still Chelsea unconsidered goal. And I was like, if they can give the performance like Burnley gave, or lose hope, or lose concentration, especially in games like this, and they can give us the performance they gave against Liverpool, against the big teams. Okay. I believe that Chelsea might probably be the only team or one of the 2 teams that or make them Arsenal pressure in terms of the title race. To me, Madika can say Arsenal is my favorite, and looking at how they are playing this season, it doesn't look like say be a team like I mean there are games that almost games near the but looking at how they are playing at the level Arsenal game, I don't see say any team currently a more favorite than Arsenal team. But to me, I believe that with what Chelsea did against Burnley, if they can do that, you show them against Wolves. Look at how a game in a KG or more winning game. If they can do this against Nottingham Forest, Everton, and the rest, and also put up performances, good performances against a team which is Liverpool now, I think that this is they are going to be either one of the few teams or making a challenge Arsenal for the title. Now, Listo and slots. The fact that he was able to win the league for Liverpool last season, Eman stocks echo very high.
Yeah.
And when he was coming to Liverpool, they did the data, I mean, how they wanted to play.
Yeah.
And they appointed Arne Slot when Jurgen Klopp was in charge and when they knew that after this season, Jurgen Klopp echo. So the transition from Klopp to Arne Slot,
I think he played a role.
Yes. And I'm gonna say he played a role. And on the announcement here, because there were rumors that Arne Slot was coming to be Liverpool's next manager. Say Jurgen Klopp car. Then at Anfield, and no announcer say Arne Slot. I don't know.
Yeah,
my mom say the coach is coming. So Listo, whatever data, whatever training routine, any tactics I think say Jurgen Klopp here. Definitely, Arne Slot will get that handover note and say, oh, say neighbor, it's Arne Slot by. He didn't sign any player apart from Federico Chiesa. And yes, still, there were slight changes. Now, not Liverpool bought that ginger pressing, maybe, but they were pressing. Omo game, no, ebe more of like possessive game. Unlike that, Georgian club, they now a direct counter attack.
That's defense, yes, solid.
Solid. You see, if you look at Liverpool team now, last season was quite unfortunate. Say, as number 2 league, City were not at their best, and Liverpool have a very good season. You see, Listo, if you look at Liverpool team in this season, and slot a ball in the 50th Premier League game for Liverpool, and out of the 50th league game, our ball, we checking the history of Liverpool, no manager and that talent in their 50th Premier League game for Liverpool than Iron Slot. Why we need 31? You see, if you look at Liverpool team now, statistics now, will be a prediction for who will win the league this season. I should say I will be at Liverpool to number 1. Because if you look at the kind of signings from here, I can say Liverpool are incredible signings. Amakwakuffa, who Isak, who is arguably the second best striker behind Erling Haaland in the Premier League from Newcastle, Denaba. Omokofa, Hugo Ekitike, another young promising talent. A lot of European teams sitting there. Amakwakuffa Denaba. Milos Kekes, who was one of the best left backs in the league last season. Omokofa Nebai, one of the promising young right backs in European football, Jeremy Frimpong, Amakwakuffa Naba. Now, when they needed a defender, that is Magui and Chale. If Omutimiya Magui Ekanwa, because now Liverpool team remove Van Dijk, remove Ibrahim Konate, defender Ben Adebonidi. You cannot win the league with a good attack with a very bad defense. And they also brought in Florian Wirtz. And the most important thing, the most disappointing thing is that all these signings on me in our list, none of them, apart from Hugo Ekitike, and I hated the ground running. So Kakakwe say, and ka sign is nimpo, Bobo, and the team lose. You know that probably there might be some tactical this thing being working. There are tactical things be affecting Liverpool. One, set pieces, list two. Liverpool are considered set pieces. As at this point, 9 set pieces from goals. Last season, that was the amount of set pieces goals I'm considering in the whole of last season. So it tells you there. Now look at the teams of Liverpool. When they meet Liverpool, they know them go for set pieces. They are not good enough.
Even looking at the height and the physique of their players.
There was some picture when they are defending set pieces, they have as much as 6 players in front of the goalkeeper in the 6-yard box. So the other teams don't number. Omumbo in swing, man, 6-yard box. Omumbo out swing. Now, but out swing, only one more defend it. Salah, McAllister, Curtis Jones, and Milos Kekes. So out swing on the Nottingham Forest for first goal no from that corner kick. Ibrahim Konate, Van Dijk. Atintin Vonina no. Ejina 6-yard box ni. And Nottingham for only 2 players. And your Morilo mo ne omo so no 2 players. The as a back no haki panikaka. Then one is in between the 6 players over 6-yard box. Now uko they have another player of far post. And 4 to 5 players. So and then okay Salah Curtis Jones, McAllister, and they attack his players. So Liverpool used to, they've been struggling with set pieces. And you see, if you look at almost form, especially Anfield, at least to a very abasement, and Usha game now, Liverpool players no. Obi te Kwadi Gakpo. E do baby Bobi Onye Osen. Omu bashing. Same as Gravenberch. Bobi no believe say Sabo we pa de kai say do obeko inside or 29 and they drew also they were frustrated omu who say omu boafu. Used to Liverpool last 5 games at Anfield. Tomorrow we need 2. In fact, in the Premier League, their last 3 games, tomorrow lose 2. And if they team back to Liverpool last game, especially 53 games at Anfield, It's the same amount in their last 53 games before Mabe reach this abysmal performance in the league. No, Omo lose our Anfield 2 times per. But now, in their last 5 games in all competition, Omo lose 3 in their last 5. Their last 3 games in the Premier League, Omo lose 2. So it tells you that now, if you look at the situation, a quick attack the situation. But you see, when you start the season, and Liverpool started winning late games, late goals, people were happy. Oh, Liverpool, it will go to the wire crown by winning. Liverpool used to last season.
But now they were conceding goals.
Yes,
too much. That is the only way. If you look at Chelsea doesn't have that established defenders. Ebi Abeka say, "Oshe talent-wise, Abi Fofana," and Abeka say, "Fofana level no was stroke and
no experience."
But Chelsea doesn't concede like as a born and if from money and the other. Chelsea goals are considering much more self-inflicted.
Yeah,
I go say, "Yankasa na ya kosi blunder be pass be na way." Then you have to throw in near the above box in Peter no be a boashim near the other. But say. To say Andra Nottingham Forest at the Liverpool, your ball pass, and I say your boss. Chelsea crowd only elite defenders in the crowd will not do that.
Yeah. So listen, as I was saying, now Liverpool team, whether they like it or not,
they are in crisis.
Yes, is the injuries, at least will be a team.
Now injury one
because oh no, I mean they now we Van Dijk any Konate free. Omunche any center back any
in fact
right back position hono Frimpong opera and no Bradley so opera so they had to play
me but now no Frimpong no obaye no we to me a consistent play all right back.
That is why I make us say almost signings omo here
they didn't solve any problem.
They spent £100 million plus to buy Florian Wirtz. Used to. Now, Adipakwe had Liverpool, maybe a man for Adrian so they've been scoring goals. But they are missing that creativity. You see, in as much as last season, Memedi can say Dominic Zoboslai. In Zoboslai in Liverpool team last season, we play player say our technique to kick the ball. Yambo Boardman in quite the right place. Now you Arnold Viewer, he was the best player in Liverpool team. Now they are not even making good use of the technique, the qualities. No? Look at how Trent, as a defender, was using the techniques to help Liverpool win games. Now you know being Hobbit Myers and Liverpool. Okay. And now this is a player they are playing as a right back. You see, first game no list. Now Liverpool created 75 chances in possession. Almost 75%. But they failed to create a single big chance.
Because it's when you are playing against Nottingham Forest,
70% possession.
You don't get
but
chances.
They created only one big chance.
Nottingham Forest and Shonda is there. Charlie. Mo amone boy, omo boy the first round there. Wo shana na wa anya wo nyama yi a waso be because I'm telling you sir, this team no quality no was rosing the Burnley team no. I know they had
Everton cry.
What I say, we need to miss goals. And the only thing is the defenders no be there. Ebe ma aye tare we chire ho. The defenders no man aye tare we chire wa. They will score a goal na on create no. What I say, it is any team we know. Look, a dangerous way, but muma movie on na share because time no na ye way. Now small one say no okay, you wrap it up on Liverpool way. What should be the solution? Should they sack the coach or give him an opportunity to sign maybe 2 players be in January to solve situation? Because now they need out and out DM and another defender.
Yeah, to me, I think the second slot will not be the solution for them.
Okay.
What they have to do is say, you can say, what G-League, who strength squad. The people now, they have best strength squad, ama performance now A level.
Yes, there's a buffer.
And money man kind, Isaac, out in the starting game. Me say Liverpool will lose because this is a player that when Mobo last time Mobo Frankfurt, I will pray for him. He has played just 29 games. I think occur international
29 minutes.
29 minutes, about 29 minutes in their last game, Wambokra. And you cannot start this player in the game. Abra, who has been scoring. So one should go come make assist. So now the thing is, Liverpool signings on Mobile this season, they are not improving the team.
Yeah.
And also in defense, Konate has been bad. In as much as
yes, defend about Konate not to
and I make Van Dijk and no only Konate film not osiri because always if you are pairing with Van Dijk, na name go ya. You be the first player you are free. And the player wants to go to Real Madrid. And in as much as say Ebia Van Dijk performance, Konate has been bad this season against Real Madrid. So this season, if Obebo game, now we need look at Liverpool in 15 space. There's so much space. Indeed, say government is doing here jumebi. Both a Konate kwako jump. The moment Konate will jump, but see Van Dijk on my menyo juma. He's always been that way. So Liverpool, I think that missing out on Sam Maguire signing affected them very much. To me, I think that they need a DM.
Into January, so Mom Saki.
No. Who Saki coach in there? Who sounds so recent? Because if you look at how Liverpool ball game now, and one or two things may affect you.
Okay.
And that is one thing that they have to solve. But before they can solve that, now in terms of goalkeeping, they need defenders. And they need a DM. Obetima Shildiomo. Gravenberch as a DM will not help them. They cannot sustain him as a DM in the Premier League.
Well, yes, I think that's a Oshe and Slaughter and yes, Omopamono. The only problem with him, they say he's not trusting the players he has. And so to me, trust you, the best thing, they say the club needs to get people he can trust.
And because Endo money,
yes,
they were not bad.
Because I think that now, the team is conceding. The best thing to do is to basically pay any Gravenberch to solve that DM role. No? Endo beti me a dirty work now, Gravenberch beti me pushy ball. No? Then now stop forcing players to get to their best without them not ready, not being there. I think so. Okay, Liverpool. A player moves and there is fire in him and he wants to bring it out there for a good case. And he's not
international break he won't go. Now Gakpo more kobo match here now Charlie.
So I think it's not a question on the problem. So he needs to fix things because Olusu Bioma he had breaking the record of Antonio Conte. In 2015-2016, Antonio Conte league Olusu 7 games. That is the worst lost after
winning a league.
And then your game with 12. Like you lose 1 or 2.
Obetima break.
I think already we'll lose 6 games.
Okay. All right.
Equaling Antonio Conte record.
All right. These are some of the highlights of course over the weekend. Real Madrid so kotrifanebo anyasem ketu akra nkoforma sambuta HRD omde yomuno. 2-2 in a game no ende ewo hono ma omode say ade ba ya me adoma ye besa ba ne ya ba bedin komo yakram